G'day, Michael here. This video is about something that's quite actually awesome. Literally, that's its name. It's a window manager that it works by tiling. Now, we all know the typical pointy-clicky interfaces. Very common. Well, Apple, Microsoft, most of the Linux default desktop arrangements are pretty much always the same style of thing, where you can get a window, resize it, and whatnot. This awesome is one of actually a few tiling window managers. Now, what's really cute is I'm only just using this. Well, I've probably had about, I don't know, 15-20 minutes experience, so it doesn't actually take that long to get your way around. I'm not a master at it, but certainly I'm really appreciating what's going on here. But if you look up here at the top left of the screen, there's a very minimal what would you call it? It's basically sort of an interface area. You've got these numbers 1 through to 9. They actually represent workspaces. So if I look at workspace 1 and 2, they've both got something on them. That's what those little rectangles make. So let's click to that one. And here you can see a tiled workspace. I've got various windows that are just simply tiled. Now, if I press the Windows key or the cloverleaf key or whatever, Apple key, that equivalent on your keyboard, and space, it does different layouts. So here you can see there's 4 equal size. I've just gone Windows space to change that type of layout. So I'll press it again. Okay, so you can see I've got one really large window and the other 3 are smaller. But if you don't like which screen is where, you just grab the one you want on the big space and it becomes big. Now, that doesn't suit what I'm doing. I actually want to see that fairly large as well. This can be fairly small, so can this. So I'll try the next setup. Next setup. Oh, how does that look? No, not quite. That one? No. Well, there's 4 equal size, right? So you can see how that, just by pressing the Windows, or some call it the super key or mod key, and spacebar, it changes the way it tiles. There are a few things further to explore, but what I'm actually not aiming to do is teach you, because I'm still learning myself. But really, there's this arrangement. Now, to open a terminal, for argument's sake, is simply Windows Enter, and there goes a terminal. And if I do it a couple of times, I'll get another terminal, and you can see the screen's getting busy. So I'll try Windows space, and now I've got 6 equal size windows. But what happens if I close one? We get this kind of business going on. Now that doesn't really suit me, so I'll grab that, move that down there. So you can see that changing the way the screen layout works really well, it gets the job done, and it makes good use of the territory of a 4K monitor. Basically, this window and this window are equivalent to having them on a HD monitor. So, yeah, this is what last week's monitors were, the HD size, and these are kind of that width divided by 3, obviously. So typical HD height, but the width divided by 3. So it'd be sort of a 4/3 looking window arrangement. So let's go to another desktop. This time I'll click on 2. Now there's shortcut keys for all this stuff. Right click gives you a menu, and the typical launch. So it's very simple. There's not a lot of excess decoration. I mean, we get rid of this background and make it black if you wanted to make it really simple. I've just left this absolutely default because I'm new, and so I encourage you to do the same thing. They do have a manual, so click on the manual. And there isn't actually a lot in the way of instructions here as to how to use the window manager, because it doesn't really need to be. But see, it's all keyboard based. Now, I'm again not going to teach anyone how to do this, but I'm just pointing some tips out there. The manual is here. But I'm certainly also not saying that this is the best tiling window manager, but it's a fresh way of thinking, and I think this could be really an awesome thing going forward. What I always struggled with the regular window manager is just trying to line up the window so it uses up the screen nicely, and basically that's what this does straight off the bat. We can go to another desktop and launch something else. Let's just, I don't know, let's launch GIMP. Now I think this will go for full screen. So there we go. The only thing that I have noticed was a little bit weird. A lot of programs are designed for a 4K monitor, and so they'll make really large icons and that kind of thing. So in VariCAD I had to go through the process of configuring it so it had certain size icons. Otherwise you just have these, when you have a reduced window, let's just go to desktop 1. If I had these set for the way I was going to do for a 4K monitor, all these icons were huge and you ended up with a very useless space. So some of the programs you had to actually go into the program's own setup and say, look, don't think this is a 4K monitor, let this just be like, in this case it was 20 pixels high for the icons, etc. So that worked out very well, but that was the only thing that I found of any sort of difficulty. Having said that, it only took me a minute to solve all of that. So, you know, I'd encourage you to explore tiling window managers. They're quite effective. You know, the screen layout and the speed, using the whole, you know, there's no gaps. You don't spend any time lining stuff up. Pressing window and space gives you this kind of option. So let's just have a look at that guy. Let's move over the big one. And there's the slicing. And we zoom in, zoom out. That's maybe this one up here. It's just so simple. You know, I can't begin to tell you how fast it is. I mean, just see how beautifully that works. Well, I guess that's it for me. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, ask a question, leave a comment. Bye for now.